Hmm. Don't waste your life. Learn English through Motivation Graded Reader. Listening practice 30-40 minutes. FA Introduction. Hello, and welcome. Today you are going to listen to a powerful English story. This story is written in simple, clear English, making it perfect for English learners. As you listen, you will improve your vocabulary, pronunciation, listening skills, and understanding of everyday English. More importantly, this story may change the way you think about your own life. Take a deep breath, relax, and listen carefully. Let's begin. To far for the story, David was 28 years old. He had a small apartment, a simple job, and many dreams. But every day looked almost the same. He woke up late. He checked his phone before getting out of bed. He spent hours scrolling through social media, watching videos, reading comments, and comparing his life to other people's lives. Every night he told himself, tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow always became another yesterday. Days turned into weeks. Weeks became months. Months became years. Slowly, without noticing, David was wasting his life. He wasn't a bad person. He wasn't lazy all the time. He simply believed he had plenty of time. He thought success could wait. Health could wait. Learning could wait. His dreams could wait. One rainy afternoon, David visited his grandfather. His grandfather lived in a quiet village surrounded by green fields and old trees. Although he was nearly 80 years old, he smiled every day. He walked slowly, but his eyes were full of peace. After lunch, they sat outside together. The rain had stopped. Birds were singing. The air smelled fresh. David looked tired. His grandfather noticed immediately. "What is wrong?" he asked gently. David sighed. "I don't know. I feel busy every day, but I don't feel like I'm moving forward." His grandfather smiled. Then he picked up a small glass jar. He placed several large stones inside. "Is the jar full?" he asked. David nodded. "Yes." His grandfather then poured small pebbles into the jar. They filled the empty spaces. Again he asked, "Now is it full?" David smiled. "Yes." Then his grandfather poured sand into the jar. The sand slipped into every tiny space. Finally, he poured water until the jar could hold no more. David laughed. His grandfather looked at him and said, "This jar is your life. The large stones are the most important things. Your family, your health, your dreams, your character. The pebbles are your work, your house, and your money. The sand is everything else. If you fill your life with sand first, there will be no room for the important things." David became quiet. He had heard this story before, but somehow this time, it felt different. His grandfather continued, "Every morning you choose what goes into your jar. If you waste your time on unimportant things, don't be surprised when your dreams have no space." That evening, David drove home in silence. His grandfather's words stayed in his mind. The next morning, he woke up early. Instead of opening social media, he opened a notebook. At the top of the page he wrote, "What really matters?" The answer wasn't easy. He thought for almost an hour. Finally, he wrote 4 things: health, learning, family, purpose. Everything else came after that. The first week was difficult. His phone tempted him. His old habits returned. Sometimes he failed. Sometimes he wasted hours again. But instead of giving up, he started again. Little by little, his days changed. He began reading 10 pages every morning. He learned new English words. He exercised for 30 minutes. He called his parents more often. He cooked healthy meals. He saved a little money every month. None of these actions changed his life overnight. But every day they made him slightly better. 1% better? Many people want dramatic change. They wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect motivation, the perfect moment. But life rarely changes that way. Real change happens quietly. One small decision, one good habit, one better choice. Repeated every day. Months passed. David looked healthier. He felt stronger. He smiled more often. His confidence slowly returned. People around him noticed. His coworkers asked, "What changed?" David simply replied, "I stopped waiting." One evening he met an old friend named Michael. Michael complained about his life for almost 2 hours. "My job is terrible. I have no money. I wish I had your luck." David listened carefully. Then he smiled. "It isn't luck. It is daily choices." Michael laughed. "You make it sound easy." David shook his head. "It isn't easy. It is simple. There is a difference. Simple does not always mean easy. Waking up early is simple. Doing it every day is difficult. Saving money is simple. Not spending it is difficult. Learning English is simple. Practicing every day is difficult. Dreaming is easy. Working consistently is difficult. Life rewards consistency, not excuses. David remembered another lesson from his grandfather. Every morning, his grandfather planted seeds in his garden. Some days it rained. Some days it was very hot. Some days nothing seemed to grow. Yet his grandfather never stopped watering the plants. Because he understood something important. Growth is invisible before it becomes visible. The roots grow before the flowers appear. Your habits are like seeds. Your future depends on what you plant today. Months later, David received a promotion. Not because he was the smartest employee, but because he became reliable. He arrived on time. He learned new skills. He solved problems. He stayed calm under pressure. People trusted him. Trust is built through repeated actions, not repeated promises. David realized another truth. Every choice has a price. Watching television has a price. Scrolling endlessly has a price. Ignoring your health has a price. But discipline also has a price. The difference is simple. The price of laziness is regret. The price of discipline is success. One afternoon, David visited his grandfather again. This time he noticed something. His grandfather walked even more slowly. His hands shook slightly. His hair had become completely white. Time had continued moving. His grandfather smiled. "So," he asked, "how is your jar?" David smiled back. "It finally has room for the important things." His grandfather nodded with satisfaction. Then he said quietly, "Remember this. You can always earn more money. You can learn new skills. You can buy another house. But you cannot buy another yesterday." Those words stayed with David forever. Years passed. David eventually became successful. Not famous. Not incredibly rich, but truly successful. He enjoyed his work. He loved his family. He stayed healthy. He continued learning every year. Most importantly, he no longer felt that his life was slipping away. Sometimes young people asked him, "What is the secret to success?" David always answered the same way. "There is no secret. Protect your time. Choose your priorities. Be patient. Stay consistent. Never stop learning. And never believe you have unlimited time. Because one day, everyone discovers the same truth. Life is shorter than it seems. The question is not how many years you live. The question is how you spend the years you are given." Ending. Thank you for listening to today's story. Remember, every day is a new opportunity to make better choices. You don't need to change your entire life today. Just make one good decision. Read one page. Learn one new English word. Exercise for 10 minutes. Call someone you love. Take one small step toward your dream. Small actions repeated every day create extraordinary results over time. If you enjoyed this listening practice, listen to it again. Repeating stories is one of the best ways to improve your English vocabulary, pronunciation, and listening skills. Thank you for spending your time learning English with us. Keep practicing, keep improving, and most importantly, don't waste your life. See you in the next lesson. Goodbye.